Back on the next round, we know how good the American, the AAC, is in basketball because we got UAB in town, and we see those teams roll in, and we watch UAB on the road. This next guy who's joining us was last year's co-player of the year in the AAC, and he is now a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For the first time, let's welcome in Chris Youngblood to the show. Chris, man, how you doing? Welcome in.
Man, I'm doing great, man. Just working hard on campus. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you here. I want to ask you, first off, why Alabama? What did you see with Nate Oates, that coaching staff, and this roster that made you say, I want to leave a place where I was very productive and join the family there in Tuscaloosa? Why did you make that choice?
Really, as soon as you walk into the facilities, you feel the energy. Like, you just feel the winning energy. And then once I got in Coach Oates' office and we started talking about development plans and his plan for this, for me and the team and the expectations, man, it's something that I gravitated towards.
Chris, we talk a lot about your prior experience, your time at KSU and in South Florida. What about your time there prepared you to put on an Alabama uniform?
Man, I would not be prepared for Alabama if it wasn't for going through them hard times, because Lord knows it was tough times them first couple years at Kennesaw. Like, I think I won a combined 10 to 12 games in 2 years. Then that third year at Kennesaw, we won 20, it was like 25-8, something like that. So that prepared me for a lot. And I just carried that over to South Florida, and now I'm here.
I when I was covering the team through the NCAA tournament, I met a couple of parents, and they were just blown away at the detail when the coaches sat down with a player and the parents on how they had broken down film and tape and the analytics and sort of laid out the path. Can you talk a little bit about that? You touched on it in your first answer because they sort of showed you the future. Can you talk about how detailed the staff is and really all the math problems they do? They do a lot of math over there. I hated math in school, but they do a lot of math over there.
Yeah, so our film session, I think it was only supposed to be like 20, 30 minutes, but man, they're basketball junkies, and I'm a basketball junkie too. So I end up going for an extra 45 to an hour. And then Coach, actually Ryan Pannone, he's like the Yoda of basketball. It's crazy. And I just fell in love with that because I'm like, man, because I'm a very detailed, and to be good at sport, you gotta pay attention to the details. So once I saw how closely they pay attention to the details, they were correcting me, and I was like, I would correct myself, and they would give me another counter to that correction. It was just like, yeah, this is the place, because how serious I haven't even committed yet, and they're treating me like I'm one of their players, and I'm like, yeah, this is second to none.
Speaking of being a basketball junkie, there's a rumor, and I want you to confirm if this is true, that you've only missed one game in your college career. If that is even ballpark, do you have a process by which you do to prepare your body for games like this? Is there a secret recipe that you want to reveal? But I've got to know the details on this.
Yes, as long as one game. It wasn't even for injury purposes. It was I might have got a flagrant to the game before. I might have got suspended when I was younger. But yeah, it was just more so just having a professional approach about how you treat your body, because man, to be a pro, you gotta be a pro on and off the court. So just staying consistent, getting a routine with your body, and it's pretty simple. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Well, what's the worst thing you eat? Like, what's the worst thing that you put in your body and you go, man, I'm going to have to make up for that one in the gym today?
Yeah, I try to have a balance. Like, I might get one or two cheat meals every 2 or 3 weeks, but my sweet tooth is terrible. Like, it's ridiculous. But food-wise, I eat good. I eat Chipotle. It's pretty simple: Chipotle, grilled chicken, rice. But like, my sweet tooth, there's this cookie place called Crumble.
Yeah.
I am in love with. Like, the cookies are perfect size. I'm a big guy. I keep about 1 or 2 of them call it a day, but Crumble and get some milk and you call it.
Yeah, we've tried this once before with Crumble. I forget which athlete it was last year that was a big Crumble fan. We tried to get him an NIL deal with Crumble, so we'll try to do the same thing with you. We'll see if we'll get a Crumble NIL deal.
If that's true, your Mondays have got to be amazing.
Yeah, I love them.
We'll try to get that. So this roster, and I got to ask you about this because as we covered the team. They were in the Final Four last year. So you have those guys back. And then everyone that Nate Oates brought in this year, I was like, that guy's a starter. That guy's a starter. You guys have 13 guys that I think could be a starter. How is this playing out in practices right now, and how do you think that's going to help this team throughout the season?
Right now, the practices are very, very intense and fun and competitive, and that's what you want your practices to be like in June. Like you want to just iron sharpen the iron. Like nobody's really, not that I know, nobody's really paying attention. Oh man, I need to get this star spot. It was just everybody just competing at a high level and just trying to get better. Because that's right now that should be the main focus. Like we're not gonna really worry about the lineups probably to the week before the game. I mean, that's up to Coach Oates. Right now, as players, man, we just keep on making each other better, competing at a high level every single day, and that's what wins championships.
What have the conversations been like between you and your new teammates as you've kind of adjusted to the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I've talked to Latrell and then Mark Sears a lot, and returner wise, and I'm just picking their brain, just getting the feel for how everything was around here last year, how Coach Oates and how all the other coaches like to do things. So it's really just picking their brain so I get a good feel. But I just, based off what I heard, it's going to be a lot of high intense practices and a lot of competing.
Yeah. Has Big Cliff put back in anybody's face yet?
Oh man, it's funny. Yeah, Big Cliff, he got me last week. He blocked my shot pretty bad last week, and then yesterday in practice, I tried to dunk on him. Man, he's going to tell you if you talk to him, he's going to tell you it wasn't a foul, but just know he did not touch any ball.
I may have gotten word that you had one put back in your face, so that's why I had to ask you about that. So yeah, what's how much? I mean, these practices, I don't think a lot of fans realize how hard you guys work in June. Just run through a normal day for you guys right now. On a normal day, is there weights? Is there diet? Dietitians working with you on the court training. What are you guys doing on a normal day right now?
Right now, I can take you through my day because right now. Like everybody, it varies depending on who it is. So my day, I'll probably get to shooting around 6:30, 6:45, and then I'll lift around 8 o'clock, get some treatment, and go home, chill for about an hour or two. Then we'll come back and get a workout in as a team at 1 o'clock, and we'll go for about a good hour and some change, and then we'll call it a day. But that hour. Like the hour feels like 2 hours, but you're having fun. You're having fun, but that hour is high intense. It's competitive. It's fun.
Chris, we'll leave you with this. What are you looking forward to most playing in your hometown of Tuscaloosa?
Man, really just I would say the support, the fan base, because that's one thing I do remember about Alabama. It's the fan base, like it's second to none. Big town fan base, big town support. So just really feeling that love, especially when we're going to be winning at a high level. So I know fans that they love winning. So we're going to make sure that's taken care of. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to that part.
All right, Chris Youngblood, man, part of that Alabama roster that is being projected by some to be number one in the country when we get to the start of the season coming up in November. It'll be here quick. Chris, man, thank you for the time. We appreciate it and enjoy the crumble later today if you sneak one in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.